Hello and welcome to all of you who have not been able to attend the session before this morning or who tried to attend and have been blocked by technical issues with Microsoft Teams. So as promised, and as you know it from the last weeks already, everything that we record here will also be published online. And in this special case, we will also send the recording to you via email, specifically because we had those issues this morning. So welcome to the short demo. It's about BIPA. As you see in the title, it is about mainly how they increased their newsletter signups by more than 200% through a gamified swipe quiz. As you already can hear, this demo will be held in English. And it is still one of the most important demos, I would say, next to the ones that have to do with advent calendars throughout the next weeks. So basically, what I want to do is I want to show you how quickly gamification can be used to leverage your marketing campaigns and tell you more about BIPA and their specific use case. Afterwards, I want to show you how the game can be built within the Brame software. And this is where I will start right away. So who is BIPA itself? It is if you don't know it, it is an Austrian drugstore retailer which operates more than 600 stores. BIPA was founded in the early 1980s as a sister company to Billa. In 1996, the Rewe Group acquired BIPA, and today BIPA is one division of Rewe International. And also quite interesting might be that in the last year, BIPA generated a global sales volume of around 830 million euros. And they had a special idea because, of course, as you see, it is about Valentine's Day. And especially in the drug retail industry, there are several occasions throughout the year in which you must fight the war for the customers, right? So the society awaits discounts, special deals, limited offers from everywhere. So how can you as a company, and especially as a drug retailer, stand out from the competition is the most important question here. So for this purpose, mainly for meeting their marketing goals, BIPA created an interactive marketing campaign. So on the one hand, to target their consumers, and the other hand, to strengthen customer loyalty, but also to increase the signups for their in-house newsletter. So how did they promote the whole campaign? The quiz was mainly promoted through flyer distribution to 3 million Austrian households, which is something quite special. So we don't have only, as you can see here, the web page promotion, the social media promotion. We also have the physical promotion through those flyers. And why did they choose this game, this kind of game? So with 39% of all the games being created within the Brame software, the quiz with 39% has the most, or is the most popular game form at Brame. Being confronted with questions is the most, I would say, intuitive way of engaging people, as challenging or interesting questions always create motivation and curiosity throughout the audience, right? So in combination with the relevant main prize or several prizes, a quiz can always maximize the number of attendees and filled out lead forms. So, and here comes the special tweak about this game, because BIPA decided to use an interactive swipe quiz, which many of you probably know, at least the mechanic. This quiz included 3 questions on the topic of fragrances and offered prizes such as an overnight stay in a Vitality hotel, voucher cards, or a BIPA feel-good sets. And the most interesting fact, this is what I just said before, is that it is similar to the one that modern dating apps are using, as some of you might know. So we are talking about swiping from left to right or from right to left, which has been proven to be appealing to consumers, which builds the bridge to the bare idea of a quiz with right and wrong answers. So what we at Brame always or often suggest is to ask a maximum of 5 questions, because the less questions, the more likely it is that a visitor leaves his or her personal data because he or she still has enough patience. So with 3 questions, you cannot do so much wrong. And what's also important, of course, is how did the campaign perform? You see challenge, promotion, and impact on the left side, and you see 3 numbers at the bottom. So the swipe quiz proved to be extremely popular among consumers and led to an impressive engagement time of 37 seconds per player, which is quite a lot for a quiz that has only 3 questions. This meant that the clients were able to spend a long time engaging with the brand and its promoted products, right? And the most important number here is how much newsletter signups have been increasing since the game. So we talk about 211% in rise when it comes to newsletter subscribers for BIPA. So in comparison to conventional advertising techniques previously employed by them, this has been something that has never been there before. But that was enough about the use case. I want to show you right after you saw how the game can be built within the Brame software, how the results in the end looked like. Let's start right away. So first, you start by giving your campaign a name. BIPA swipe quiz in this case. German, correct. Then out of 13 different game types, you choose swipe quiz, click on next, and afterwards you choose a template. BIPA took the one named co-working space here in the middle. Click on create, and then the builder will open in front of you. First step, BIPA started by deactivating the introduction page. The visitors should get directly to the game. Then start by uploading all your images and all your fonts into the asset library. Exactly like that. Then most important is that in brand and style on the left side, you can change the general appearance of the whole game. You can add your logo. You can add a background image. You can also decide if you want to hide the logo. And even more important, besides having the bare background image, is to choose one for mobile devices. This is what you should do next. So for giving your game the CI of your company, you can use the RGB or the hex code to define the specific colors of the whole game itself. BIPA kept it very clean, actually in black and white, but this is something that I would elaborate on more later. As you can see, Brooklyn Samuels is the font that we just uploaded before, and this is the one that suits the CI of BIPA perfectly. So in the color menu, you see here the hex code option. Quite easy in this case because they said, okay, we want to have it in black, we want to have it in white, and just one specific accent should be pink. And that is the secondary accent color, which you will see right now. And there they have the actual pink hex code. Entering the game view, by clicking the little gear wheel, we get into the game editor. So this is how you create the questions and the answers for the whole quiz. You enter the question itself, in the text field and define up to 4 answers. Important is here that the green dot defines which answer is the correct one. The other ones will be wrong and turn red when chosen by the player. So don't forget to choose a picture for the specific question and do the same for the remaining questions. By clicking the little arrows on the bottom, you switch between the questions. Coming to the registration page, you can adjust the lead form. Which data do you want to collect? So BIPA wanted to collect only the name and the email address. You can also decide, do you want to have checkboxes for newsletters, for example, or for the conditions of participation? They didn't want that, so pretty easy in this case. Exchange the picture, select, done. That is it already. Coming to the results, most important because here you tell the player if he won or lost the game. By clicking on the little trophy in the top right corner, you can enter the result title, replace the dummy image again, and add a description of the results. Basically similar to the questions. BIPA wanted everyone to have a positive experience, so therefore every result led to the same result page. They explained here that the player would be informed via email in case they won. As a special call to action, they added a button which led directly to the newsletter sign up page, which I will show you later. And also important, when you did that, you can change the footer. So not only the text that is being displayed, but also the color of it. For all the companies that are interested, and most of them seem to be, in promoting their social media channels, it is also easy to add that. So if you go to the social media menu and enter the links, you can click on save, and as you can see, the buttons will directly appear on the result page. So that's how it looks for at the moment. BIPA wanted to send emails to every participant saying thank you and informing about the next steps. So those mails are being sent directly from our system and can also be adjusted easily by yourself. So now it gets important because now it's about publishing the game. That was basically the whole game creation itself. So what you can decide when you want to publish the game, make the link publicly accessible, you can decide you want to collect analytics or you don't want to do that. If you want to collect analytics, I mean, analytics itself means unique visits, for example, unique leads, engagement time, and even more. You can also decide on if you want to have several registrations with the same email address or not. In this case, BIPA allowed multiple registrations with the same email address, but they limited it to 1 play per day, which you can do. This is the last point here on the list. I'm going to show you here, right there. Also important, you don't have to publish the campaign immediately. You can also say you want to schedule a time. For example, a certain day when the rest of your campaign, then often, because often gamification is just like one part within a bigger campaign, then you could say schedule a time and put the date and then click on publish. So it will be done automatically. So campaign published, go out there and get some leads. So what you have now is the link that you see here in the middle. This is the live link. So you can decide on how you want to use this specific link. You can integrate it on your website with an iframe, which you can do right here. This is the correct button for that. You get the code snippet for the iframe. You can use it in newsletters, you can post it on social media, or use it in some other way that you would like to use it. One more thing would also be something that many clients do already, is using QR codes, for example. So connect the link to a QR code, then post a QR code somewhere, also in a physical form, make people scan it via iPhone, via smartphone generally, and then they are being connected or linked directly to the game. But now you didn't see how the game looks like, right? So this is what I want to show you right now. Click here on play now. So in this case, I would say, how many fragrances has BIPA to offer? About more than 600. Correct. How many? Yes, it seems to be this one. Oh, wrong. And here it is 25% doing that via swiping. So after doing that, you see we have the registration page where I can now enter the information that we have defined before that people should enter here. So you see, we don't have anything connected to a newsletter, but we have the conditions of participation. So I click here, participate, and then we see the result. So they tell me now 2 out of 3 have been correct. You are now taking part in the raffle. And they explain here that after the whole campaign ends, the winners will be notified via email. And this is the call to action button that they integrated. So when I click right here, you see, I get to that page where I can sign up for their BIPA newsletter. So, and this is where they generated those 211% increase in newsletter signups compared to, I would say, like static advertising campaigns before. So coming back here, I can just ask you to ask your questions. As this is not a live event anymore, I would be happy if you could ask me via email. You see my email there, felix.huber@brame.io. I would be happy to answer all your questions. If you want to see some more before you contact us, you can always go directly to brame.io, which I want to show you already. Now you can go on this page, scroll down, and go to the customer highlights section. Within the customer highlights section, you see some of our use cases where you see a button for the case study, which reads what was the case in this for this company, for the case itself, for the challenge. What did the game solve in the end? And you can also try the game. Just by clicking here, play the game, it will open and you can start testing the game. If you want to see more of the game concepts that we have to offer, go to products here in the left tab, then to game concepts, and then you can choose. For example, I can show you the scratch card. Click here, and you can find this section here in the middle where you just click start, and then you can try, for example, in this case here, the scratch card, right? Also very, very, very much in use when it comes to retail, as it makes sense to use such a high converter for retail campaigns, right? So this is what I wanted to tell you in the end, because that was it already quite quickly through it. It is very, very easily done to create a game, to publish a game, and in the end, collect, for example, leads. So I would be happy if you can approach me with your questions, and stay tuned, because this is not the last one of product demos. Throughout the year, we will have more and more, especially focusing on advent calendars. And this being said, I want to also tell you about the first one that's upcoming. It is this Thursday. It will be about advent calendars, and it will be at 10:30 a.m. So if you don't want to miss that out, follow us on LinkedIn, because we will, of course, promote it there. Thank you very much.